Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to the Delta Corp Limited Q2 FY 23 earnings conference call hosted by Antique Stock Broking Limited. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Alpesh Thakkar from Antique Stock Broking Limited. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you, Faizan. Hello, everyone, and welcome to second quarter FY 23 investor conference call of Delta Corp Limited. Today, we will have with us the management of Delta Corp, represented by Mr. Hardik Debar, Chief Financial Officer of the company. The format of the discussion would be brief opening remarks by the management, followed by Q&A session. Without much delay, let me hand over the call to Mr. Debar. Over to you, sir.
Good afternoon, Alpesh. Thank you once again for hosting the call this quarter. And welcome everybody. Good afternoon to all. It is with great joy and pleasure I would like to state that this is a quarter which has broken a couple of records when it comes to revenues as far as Delta Corp is concerned. This quarter, we have recorded the highest ever revenue in a particular quarter as far as in the history of Delta. And if I was to extend it to the 6-month period ending September, this has been a record 6-month period also in the history of Delta Corp. Whether you would like to look at the revenue or the EBITDA or the profits, for the 6 months ended 30th September 22, we have recorded the highest ever numbers in each of these categories. What has led to this resurgence is basically the domestic travel and tourism industry has been doing reasonably well. International travel still largely out of bounds, plus given the visa delays and visa constraints that are there across most of the jurisdiction, domestic travel is something which has gotten immensely benefited. And Goa, amongst the domestic travel destinations, has always been a very popular and the most sought-after destination. Thankfully for us, every time Goa tourism does well, the rub-off effect happens onto Delta Corp. While we are not saying that we are entirely dependent on tourism alone, but to a large extent, visitation of people with larger numbers into the state and Goa itself obviously will have a positive rebound effect. That coupled with the fact that overall the economy, as far as India is concerned, while the world may be going through a difficult time, but I think India as a country and India as an economy has been doing reasonably well. The home consumption story, the domestic consumption story remains intact. Consumer spending remains buoyant and high, and we believe that this is only going to get more and more stronger as we move further, given the fact that we would have India is one of the rare economies that will be growing in the higher single digits or double digits going forward. So all this put together, it's a very, very positive thing. Good start to the season as far as Delta is concerned, because like I said, second quarter always historically has been the trend-setting quarter, which sets in the tone, trend, and the momentum, which continues into the third quarter and the rest of the year. In addition to that, as we all know, we are looking at a new vessel which is likely to come in the next 12 months' time. Post-monsoon next calendar year, and during the beginning of the third quarter or so is when we hope that third quarter of the next financial year is when we hope that the new vessel should be ready and operational, and that will obviously add a lot of steam to the current momentum and the growth trajectory that we have been experiencing. As far as online gaming is concerned, there with a renewed focus and attention on sales promotion activity and customer acquisition, customer retention, and customer onboarding exercise that we have taken on in the last 6-8 months, we've seen the traction paying its results. If you look at this segment on online gaming itself, if you compare Year-on-year, we've done about 42-43 crores of revenue last year, similar quarter, which is currently at 50 crore number. That is basically the initial effects of the effort that is being put in by the operating team on the online gaming side. With regards to the IPO update, we have received the final observations and approval from SEBI, and we as Delta Corp, along with the operating team at Delta Tech, are looking to embark upon the next steps of interacting with the investors, trying to assess the market and get a reasonable feel and pulse to then decide on the launch of the issue. The issue, obviously, as everyone knows, is roughly about 550 crores divided into an offer for sale of 250 crores and 300 crores of primary issuance, which obviously will act as the war chest and the armory for the online business to further its growth momentum and growth trajectory. A lot of that money is going to be spent on customer acquisition, branding, and sales and promotion and marketing activities, which will ensure that we have a continuous and a decent flow of customers onboarding the platform at every point of time, giving us the necessary impetus for growth. With regards to the GST ongoing issue, there is the matter pending with the GST Council. The Council hasn't met as the group of visitors has been discussing, deliberating upon what methodology and how they should be addressing this concern of the industry, given the fact that there was disclarity at the GOM level per se with regards to understanding each of the businesses. After they have gone through and the representations made by various industry forums and industry participants, including ourselves, we have been able to achieve a success in form of the fact that they have now realized the differences between the methodology in how each of these businesses, whether it's horse racing, online gaming and casinos, operate, and therefore to use the same yardstick and measure for levying of tax on each of these businesses would not be ideal, and therefore each of them needs to be looked at separately, which we believe we have been able to communicate and convey it to the GOM, who seems to have taken it positively. We are now waiting for the final GOM recommendations and the GST Council to come out with the law. We are very, very positive and hopeful that it's all going to settle the matter once and for all. Other than that, there is no other extraordinary or any other item that one needs to highlight in specific. I am happy to open the floor for question answers, and I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability.
Thank you very much. We will now begin with the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. A reminder to the participants, anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1. The first question is from the line of Viraj Mehta from Equirus PMS. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Thank you, Hardik. Congratulations again for a great set of results. Can you tell us the number?
Mr. Mehta, please use the handset mode. The audio is not clear from your line.
Congratulations, Hardik, for great results. Can you tell us the visitation for this quarter, please?
That's the only question?
So that is the first question. And second is, there was this... obviously, company gave clarification on Daman, but if you can provide us an update of where we are with Daman as well, and where is the case pending there as well. Those are my only two questions.
So visitations are more or less similar to what they were last quarter. It is about 120,000 visitations is what we have seen as of September 22 quarter. With regards to Daman, the matter has been listed for final hearing on the weekly board. But given the backlog and the pressure on the courts are doing their best. They sit up to 6:30, 7:30, 8 o'clock at times, trying to clear the backlog and the cases. But we haven't been lucky to get a hearing. And like I said, this is the final hearing, so hopefully very soon we should be able to get onto the board and the final hearing to commence. Once the hearing commences, and we are hopeful that very quickly thereafter we should have some direction to the entire matter.
Sure. And just one last question, if I can squeeze in. In terms of, if I look at the last page of the results note that you put out on BSE, both Mr. Modi's and your comment was that we are likely to see the growth continuing. But with the number of visitation being similar, and you had also mentioned that we are not likely to increase our NT prices. So then how does the growth come in till the new vessel?
I think we have answered this multiple times earlier, that it is the quality of crowd that one needs to monitor. I would be more happier to filter the crowd in a way where I get more focused and serious people who want to sit on the table and game rather than people who come for food, drinks and entertainment. And therefore we have a built-in mechanism like which we bring it into use, especially on busy weekends, where we don't sell the entry-level packages at all and it's only the high-end packages, because for a gamer, it really doesn't matter because, he's anyways going to spend. And, most of my regulars or most of my Club Delton members, their entries are anyways taken care of. So the moment I'm able to filter the crowd and in normal parlance, better the product mix as we call it, that will obviously yield better results in terms of revenue per person improving, while the numbers on the whole may remain more or less similar, thereby giving me the better revenue.
Thank you so much. And just your new ship you're saying will come by Q3 24. Is that a correct understanding? FY 24.
Yeah, next financial year, third quarter.
Yes. Thank you so much and best of luck.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Arun Kumar from BMO Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, congratulations on a very good set of numbers. I just wanted to know about the status of the IPO, like when is it likely to launch? And the second question is about, the present GST impact. What could be the worst case scenario if it is 28%?
With regards to the IPO, I just gave an update in the opening remarks itself that we've received approvals. We are commencing the process of roadshows, etc. We'll make the assessment of the market and then decide of the right time to launch. And as far as we are concerned, there is no delay or no holding back from us as the company or the issuer per se. With regards to GST also, I think I gave a very detailed scenario of what the situation is presently. As regards the rate of GST is concerned, casinos have historically, right from the day the GST was introduced, have been paying 28%. So for Delta, it really doesn't make a difference.
Okay, that will be all. Thank you.
Thank you. Participants, to ask a question, you may press star and 1. Reminder to the participants, anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1. The next question is from the line of Chirag from Keynote Capital. Please go ahead.
Thank you for the opportunity. Sir, in Q1, you have mentioned that our other expenses were high due to some legal expenses were taking place. But if I see in Q2 also, we are still in the same zone. So should I expect that the run rate for other expenses will be in this level only?
See, a large of the chunk is on account of the Daman matter, which is coming up on a daily basis, virtually daily basis. And therefore, plus the other GST-related issues which are there where we have a lot of legal consultation. And the other expenses also account for a lot of professional charges. And these professional charges are not only legal fees, but, we have marine staff and marine consultants who are on board. Plus we have a revenue share arrangement with one of with one of the operators in one of our casinos. So all those things, with their regular inflationary increases and everything, will get added into this. Now to say whether the trend will continue like this, I don't think so, because hopefully sooner rather than later these legal issues are going to come to an end, and therefore those recurring expenses that we are incurring today will stop.
Perfect. So could you get the revenue that we had in casino from Sikkim and Nepal for the quarter?
On a monthly run rate as far as Sikkim is concerned, we are doing anywhere between 2 to 2.5 crores a month, whereas Nepal we are doing anywhere between 3.5 to 4 crores a month.
Perfect. That's it from us. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Digantharia from Green Edge Wealth. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. I think you alluded to a few things regarding this question, but I'll still ask is that, before COVID and after COVID, have you seen a change in mix of the customers which come to your casino, especially, between the casual customers and the serious gamers, or is that more or less the same?
So that is entirely something that we can control. We, on days when we have enough capacity available and people are, it's not a busy day like a Monday or a Tuesday or a Wednesday types, the crowd is what we allow freely to walk in the way we want. And on busy weekends, long weekends, and on the blackout dates is where we try and control the crowd in a way where we try to filter out the serious gamers from the non-gamers. So I think that mix more or less is remains the same. I don't think there is any difference or change in that.
Okay, perfect. And second question is on the online gaming part that we've been stuck in that 40 to 50 crore kind of quarterly revenue for a pretty long time. Is it more of the way industry is, or that after COVID things are cooling off? Or
We have only recorded a 50 plus crore number once, which is in the quarter of April to June 2020, which was the first quarter immediately after the lockdown came in. Other than that, we have never crossed the 42, 43 crore number. This is the first time that we have touched 50 crore, barring that one incident I told you of April to June 20. So I don't think that we have been stuck. Yes, we were stuck for a while between 38 to 40 crores, then between 42 to 44 crores. But I think we've broken the shackles from time to time, and this is again that we've broken these shackles. We've touched 50 crores. We are looking at the run rate currently into this quarter, and we believe that these numbers can be replicated without much of a problem. Plus, our efforts and our brand spends and our marketing concentration and focus is more renewed on the online side, and the team is working very hard to ensure that we get more and more registrations. With now, the multi-gaming platform also coming into play completely. We've seen a registration spurt happening on the multi-gaming platform, and the idea is that the moment we keep getting larger registrations on the multi-gaming platform, we try to nurture and convert those into high ARPU players and nudge them towards the games which are high ARPU, thereby, trying to maintain our revenue streak and profitability streak.
Okay. So, but would it be fair to say this, that, the sector tailwind is not as great as, say, when it was in the first year of COVID lockdown? It's more of now companies' efforts which have led to this 49 crores kind of a number, like up to 15%.
No, obviously there are no tailwinds or headwinds in a business like ours. Honestly, the tailwind, if at all anybody wants to call it a tailwind, was the undue amount of money that got raised by most of the online companies through private equity and stuff like that, and everybody went on a spending spree. Now that is what got you the tailwind. Otherwise, there was never a tailwind or a headwind situation as far as the business is concerned. It is entirely the company's efforts which have to pay results at the end of the day, and I am very happy to say that our team on the online side has come together very well as a unit. In the last 1 year, we have, rejigged a lot of things, got in a lot of talent, and the dividends are paid now. And we are hoping with the IPO money coming in, the spend capability and the power increasing, we would only hope that this 50 crore number is not only maintained but is surpassed and grown from time to time.
Perfect. Thank you so much for your explanations. Thank you. That's it from my side.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Dhwanil Desai from Turtle Capital. Please go ahead. Dhwanil Desai, your line is in talk mode. Please go ahead with your question. Mr. Desai, please unmute your line from your side if muted.
Hello, you're able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Hi, Hardik. Good afternoon. The first question is if you can give an update on the Greenfield project and any change in timeline for that.
So the Greenfield project is the one that you're referring to, the Mopa Airport Integrated Resort, right? Yeah. Okay. So there we received the final gazette notification approving the project and approving the area as an investment promotion area about a month ago. And then obviously we were in the midst of the monsoon, so it's only by December end or January is when we will start breaking ground and actively working on the project. There have been a little bit of a delay from the original timeline given that the permissions and the approvals given the COVID situation took a little longer than what we anticipated, but I think the wait is worth it given the fact that now it's a single window clearance project. I don't have to run from pillar to post, going from department to department seeking approvals and permissions. It's only one authority, which is the GIPV, which will approve and everything will be done through that. So I think the delay was worth it, the wait was worth it. It is a 4-year sort of a project that we are looking at. And like I said, we start in 23, so by 27 or so, we should be completing the entire project. If all goes well and there are no surprises during the course.
Okay. And second question, Hardik, is on the online gaming part. So I think you mentioned that, you are upping the ante on marketing spend in terms of getting more registrations. So on a segmental level, should we expect higher EBIT losses or that will happen only post-IPO?
We are very stingy spenders and frugal spenders, so to say. We believe in trying to maintain profitability or at least minimize the losses while trying to achieve our objectives and goals. So I'm not saying that the losses will go away completely, but it's not going to be a situation where, you will see one quarter humongous amount of loss and the 1 year will be very large loss vis-a-vis compared to nothing in the previous year or subsequent year. So I think it's going to be a very measured spend, very focused and concentrated spend because, the operating team, like I said, is as far as poker is concerned, we are the leaders, we are the masters, we understand our client, our segment that we need to target extremely well, and therefore we can direct our spends in a very, very targeted and a focused way to ensure that we get the maximum benefit out of the minimalistics of the spends. With regards to the multi-gaming platform, yes, we will be on a spending spree so that we can add more players, more registrations, more bodies onto the platform. But again, it will not be a blind kind of a call wherein we just go on a spending spree. So while yes, there will be losses in some time to come, at least for the next 6-12 months, maybe or maybe more. But I think it will not be a blind spend like there is no tomorrow.
Okay, got it. Thanks a lot, Hardik, and all the best.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Chintan Mehta from Prudent Broking. Please go ahead.
I have a question on the new vessel that we are replacing. The new ship should have the same margin as the existing ship that we are replacing?
See, margin as a business should only improve from here and can only improve from here going forward because like I said, it's a very high operating leverage business. Once we have achieved a break even, every additional rupee, anywhere between 55 to 60% of every additional rupee gets added to the bottom line. So obviously when we start a new vessel, which is going to be a much larger vessel, in the initial months you expect some costs to be incurred and the revenues not to be commensurate to cover the cost. But once the costs are covered and the revenue starts kicking in, it's anybody's guess where the margin can go up to. But I think anywhere between 37 to 45% could be the range that one could easily look at in a steady state, stable environment.
Okay. And also any extra impact on depreciation because of replacement or something?
Oh, well, that's natural, right? You get a newer asset, it's going to depreciate more than an asset which is already depreciated for the last 10 years.
Okay. Okay. And second question on the Delta Tech IPO. Post-IPO, what would be the structure of revenue allocation from Delta Tech Gaming to Delta Corp? Any royalty or something?
There was no royalty ever paid by Delta Tech to Delta Corp. Even today, there is no royalty that is being paid or received, other than the fact that there are certain business arrangements in terms of the live poker room that Delta Tech has and manages and does a lot of things with Delta Corp on its vessel Deltin Royale. So those kind of revenue share arrangements may continue, but other than that, there is no royalty ever contemplated.
Okay. Okay. I have just one last request. If you can share any internal metric or something to track the QOQ, like gross gambling revenue or average ticket size or something, anything possible?
The fact that it is internal, very difficult to share, no?
Okay. Okay. No problem. Thank you. That's from my side. Thank you.
Reminder to the participants, anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1. The next question is from the line of Mayur Gatani from OHM Portfolio Equi Research. Please go ahead.
Hi. Thank you for the opportunity. So just wanted to check if any of the existing boats will go on dry dock in the second half of this year.
Yes, Deltin Royale will, in all probabilities, somewhere in the fourth quarter, go in for a dry dock for about 3 weeks or so.
Okay. And you said the new project will come by 27. So do we have to wait till 27 for the revenues to start generating, or in the next 1 or 2 years the revenues should start generating, right? Because
no, it all depends on the final structure that we go ahead with. And the way I look at it is, I think we'll have to wait for at least 3 years for the first revenues to start kicking in.
Okay, minimum 3 years, that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
And any land acquisition you will be doing more? I mean, you've already done a quite...
As of now, not required. Like I said, out of the 110, 20 acres that we already have, we are only utilizing 90, so we'll have about 50, 20 acres still available. And that 90 also is going to be spread over time. So, there's enough that we already have to take care of the near foreseeable future.
Okay. And we can start work from calendar year 23. Is that what you said, right? We don't need...
That's correct.
Okay.
That is correct.
The permission from the government also...
Sorry? Yeah, I couldn't hear you.
The permission from the government is required?
No, like I said, we've got the letter of intent, we've got the notification of the area being notified as the promotion or investment zone, and therefore it is now a single window clearance project where all approvals, permissions will come through the IPB. Which is what I mentioned earlier, that the wait was worth it, and it is going to be eventually beneficial that we have waited and we are getting it done through this route.
So, are you the only one who's doing this, or there are other competitions also who have existing boats proceeding with land acquisition?
So, Mayur, I think you're getting a little confused between the situation which was there about couple of years ago when they were talking of moving the boats away and bringing the casinos live on land. That policy, while it was announced, has not been furthered and taken shape. If that was to happen and that ever happens, you will obviously have others who will have to build it on land and give up the licenses on the river. But that is nothing. That's not happening as of now, as it appears. So that's policy implementation and policy decision is on hold. What we are doing is simple. The rule currently exists that on a 5-star hotel you can have an electronic casino. So we are going to have an electronic casino of about 150,000 square foot to begin with in this integrated resort project while our ships will continue to operate.
Fair, sir. I'm aware of that, sir. Thank you very much. And sir, one last question. Anything on the the fees that were not paid during the COVID time?
They have not asked for anything. We have already, like everyone knows, the provision for those fees is already reflecting in the P&L, and we've already accounted for it. So from a P&L perspective, there is not going to be any impact even if the fees were called in for. But as we speak, till today, we have not received any intimation or communication with the government one way or the other.
Thank you, sir, and all the very best.
Thank you, Mayur.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Dikshit Doshi from Whitestone Financial Advisors. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity. Just one question. So, I think that once the new ship comes in the Q3 of next financial year, one of the existing ship will get replaced. So, how much revenue, let's say, that the current ship would be doing, and
the smallest one will get replaced. So, whatever it gets replaced with is not going to be as significant as the addition is going to be. So I think, it really doesn't matter.
How big it would be from the one which will get replaced in terms of size?
Oh, it will be bigger. The new one will be bigger than our current biggest ship. So, the smallest one is too small.
Okay. That's it from my side. Thanks.
Thank you. Participants, to ask a question, you may press star and 1. The next question is from the line of Anuj Momaya from Ideal Investments. Please go ahead.
So what will be the capital outlay for the ship, and how much will be the capex that you are planning for this Goa integrated park that you are building?
I think we've answered this question in the earlier calls in the prior quarters. Anuj, and you've been there on all the calls. So for your benefit, again, I will repeat it. The ship will cost anywhere between 200-250 crores, give and take a couple of crores here and there. And the integrated township or integrated resort project spread over 4 years will be anywhere between 2,500 crores to 2,800 crores. Roughly about 3,000 crores, give and take.
And this will be completely self-funded, this 3,000 crores, or will you looking to raise some debt at some point of time?
We are having 600 crores of cash today, Anuj. We'll be raising another 250 crores through the IPO as part of the secondary sale. Current year trend shows 400 crores of cash that we are generating on an annual basis. We are spreading it over 4 years. That's 1,600 crores and 800 crores plus. So that's about 2,400, 2,500 crores. We should be good.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks for answering.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Bhavesh Patel from Patel Investments. Please go ahead.
First of all, Hardik, many congratulations on great set of numbers as well as wonderful performance. Very happy to be part of Delta family. Most of the questions have been answered, so I will just once again pass on my appreciation and look forward to continued great performance. Thank you.
Thank you, Bhavesh.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Rahul from Symphony FinServe. Please go ahead.
Hello. I'm audible?
No.
Yes. So first of all, congratulations.
You're not audible, Rahul. You're not audible.
Sorry to interrupt you. Rahul, there's a disturbance coming from your line. Please use the handset mode.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yes. Please go ahead.
Yes. So first of all, congratulations for the good set of numbers. I just wanted to know about the other current assets that have gone up, because of which the cash flow has taken a hit. So if you can give a light on that.
So why do you think the cash flow has taken a hit?
Because it was showing negative 70 crores in the result because of other current assets.
There is no negative cash flow. Pragnesh, you're on the call. Can you just give some details on the other current assets, please? Faizan, can you unmute? Yeah, 1 second. I think there's a lot of disturbance on, I think, Rahul's end or somewhere.
Rahul,
see,
mute your audio.
bulk of the item in as far as the current assets is concerned is the license fee that would be payable. So roughly about 58 or 60 crores of license fee has been paid in advance or was to be paid as of 30th September, and as on 1st of October that entire amount has been paid. So other than that, I don't think there is anything substantial in the other current assets in any case. But let me check. Faizan, can you just check for Pragnesh if he can be put on talk mode?
Shah, your line is in talk mode. Please go ahead.
Yeah, Hardik, you are right. That is on mainly on account of prepaid license fees, which we paid in last week of September. Yeah. So I think that's the answer. So.
Okay, got it. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Reminder to the participants, anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and one at this time. Participants, to ask a question, you may press star and one. The next question is from the line of Pratik Shetty, individual investor. Please go ahead.
For the opportunity and congratulations on a great set of results. So my question is on the multi-gaming platform, online multi-gaming platform that we have. So what would be the current active user base for this, and can you give some numbers on the monthly new user addition? And secondly, follow up on that would be initially in the previous calls, Hardik, you had mentioned that we'd use this as a funnel to direct the gamers towards poker and rummy. So are we seeing that right now, and what would be the conversion rate?
So as far as the strategy is concerned, that is precisely the strategy, to use this as a platform and a funnel to try and attract as many more number of people onto the platform who will be onboarded, and then over a period of time try and nudge them towards the high ARPU games. Now I'm not only saying poker and rummy, but obviously poker, rummy are the highest ARPU games at this point of time. But every other ARPU, that is ARPUs, which is a high ARPU game, is where we'll try and nudge the players to ensure that our revenue and profitability is maintained. With regards to the data on users, I think I have Abhinav on call. Abhinav, if can be brought into the talk mode, and Abhinav can throw some light.
Abhinav Nigam, your line is in talk mode.
Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So as far as the data on the active user base is concerned, over the last 2 quarters, our average MAUs, monthly MAUs, have been 30,000, more than 30,000 and more than 40,000 users every month. So the multi-gaming platform is seeing a healthy growth, and we are quite confident that this growth will continue.
Okay, and month on month, what is the addition?
Is it Pratik?
Yeah.
So Pratik, you want to know the month-on-month addition in terms of
what is the monthly growth rate, kind of, if you could give an idea over the last 6 months or maybe quarter, how fast are we growing in the online, the user base for the
Pratik, we started the multi-gaming focus in the last 6 months or 8 months to be precise, where we started focusing, where we started spending. So, what Abhinav is saying, that we are looking at 30 to 40,000 monthly MAUs happening, that monthly active users happening. That's the kind of trend that we are seeing, and that's where he said that it's a healthy growth that we are seeing.
Okay, got it. And so it's too early to kind of look at the conversions as well, then, I guess, right? Maybe towards the high ARPU games.
Absolutely, Pratik.
Okay, understood. So my second question would be on the Daman case. So if and when we get a hearing in our favor, how long will it take to kind of set up the casino and start generating revenues from there?
The casinos, everything is ready. It's just a plug and play, because that's going to be an electronic casino again. So we just have to plug in the equipment, and we'll be ready to start. It will take me about 45 days to 60 days to activate the whole thing, because I'll need to get in people, I'll need to bring in the equipment from wherever they have been currently being utilized, and we will ensure that in 45 to 60 days time we are up and running.
Great. So no significant capex on the electronic
not really. No, so there will be, but very insignificant.
Okay, understood. Thanks so much. That would be all from me.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Dhwanil Desai from Turtle Capital. Please go ahead.
Hi, Hardik, just one clarification, and correct me if I heard you wrong, but you say 3,000 crore capex for the Delta City project?
Yes.
So earlier we were thinking about around 50. 1,800 crore kind of a number, sir?
No. We were always talking about 1,800 to 2,000 crores. If you look at all the commodities, they have significantly risen. The costs have gone up multifold. Plus, being a 5-year project, we need to provide for a further inflationary and contingency mechanism built in, so that would be another 300-400 crores easily. And if you account for all the steel prices, cement prices, and other commodity prices going up, that's the natural 300-400 crores. So, on the whole, about 600-700 crores deviation comes in from there. Plus, obviously, there is a import component involved in this. So, if you look at the rupee dollar, again, that's something that has gone for a toss from where we started. So, I think while we are not off in that sense of the term, but yeah, given the factors which are external and beyond the control of anyone, that has got an impact on the pricing.
Okay. So in terms of your internal workings, does it change your attractiveness of the project because the cost increase is substantial, right?
While the cost increase is substantial, but on the other hand, if you see the way the casino business has been doing and the gaming numbers are stacking up, I don't think it is going to make a significant impact in terms of the profitability if we are able to achieve the casino strategy right. And since we have been operating casinos for the last so many years, we believe that we will be able to pull it through. And the project obviously hovers around the entire casino setup.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Navin Goyal, individual investor. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Hardik, for the details. My question is that what is the weekday capacity utilization for Tilted Real? And is there any...
There is no concept of capacity. Honestly, there is no concept of capacity utilization. Please understand. One could have a different mix of people where, the ship is overflowing with 2,000 people a day and the revenue would not be commensurate, and then you would have 500 people with the revenue would be commensurate. So there is no concept of capacity. Theoretically, I could say that I have 2,000 gaming positions. Average utilization by a person is 4 hours, and there are 24 hours in a day, so 4 into 6 is 24 into 2,000. So that is the hypothetical capacity, but I don't think one should look at it that way.
Okay. And the second question I'm having, the entry price which you are having for a random gamers who are coming, that covers your fixed cost which you are incurring on food?
Yeah, of course. Everything. It covers everything. My F&B, my transportation, all. It will obviously cover. I don't want to lose money at any stage.
So it's a good thing if you can have more footfalls even during the day.
Of course.
That's why I asked that whether we are.
Yeah, but there is no capacity constraint as such on weekdays, or that if there are people, they will be accommodated. If there are no people, where do I get people from, and where does one talk about capacity there? And like I said, we have seen that over the last few years, there has not been too much of a deviation, whether it is a Monday or a Sunday. Yes, of course, the Tuesday, Wednesday may be an odd dip in the footfalls, but otherwise, by and large, everything's on a very standard flow basis.
Okay. And the last one from my side, is there any comment you want to make with respect to immediate competition which has come in? Is there any impact because of that, as per your internal plans?
Which immediate competition are you referring to?
Let's say the Big Daddy is there, which is...
They have been in operation for the last 4 years. There is no immediate competition. There is no new competition that is coming. Except for that 1 month when they ran that program where they had a Bollywood star coming in and trying to attract as many people as they can on their vessel. I think everybody is settled in. We have grown from where we were in 2019. We've surpassed all our numbers. In fact, I opened my call with saying that this is historical highs in terms of revenue and profit. So where is the question?
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Reminder to the participants, anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1. The next question is from the line of Sumit, individual investor. Please go ahead.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
So first of all, congratulations for the good set of numbers. And all the question has been asked. I have just one question. As we are coming up with the IPO and the online revenue will be moving from Delta Corp to Delta Corp. So is there will be any...
No, it is not moving anywhere. Delta will continue, the Delta Tech Gaming will continue to be a subsidiary which will keep getting consolidated with Delta Corp. So it doesn't really matter from a balance sheet and a P&L perspective.
Okay. Yeah. That's all I have. Thanks for the clarification.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Ajay, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good evening and congratulations for good set of numbers. Just wanted to check, I joined little late, so on this GST part, any update on that, sir?
No, so we are waiting for the group of ministers to present their report to the GST Council. Based on the interactions and the representations that were made from time to time to the group of ministers and the council, we are very happy to say that at least the fact that each of the business, whether it is the online game, from casinos, from horse racing, has been clarified to them that each of them is a separate business and one cannot use the same yardstick to, calculate or compute tax. And especially in case of casino, we have always been at 28% from the inception of GST. So from a rate perspective, we are agnostic. There is no change that is going to there's no change that's going to happen as far as we are concerned on the rate front. And what we are only seeking from a casino industry perspective or a casino operator perspective is the fact that internationally, worldwide, the GST is calculated and computed in a certain manner, which is the manner that India was following right from the 1990s all the way to 2017 and beyond, even after GST. Till about the time when a new circular comes in which brought in some ambiguity. Thankfully, because of the representations, that also has been clarified now. And we are very confident and hopeful that the committee, along with the group of ministers, will take the right and the fair decision.
Thanks. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the last question for today. I now hand the conference over to the management for closing comments.
Well, I think we've touched upon every aspect of the company and the business that needed to be touched upon and thrown light to through my opening remarks or through the Q&A that we had. I'm very thankful to everybody to keep supporting Delta and participating on this call. Thank you, Alpesh. Over to you.
Thank you for your closing remarks and clarifying all the doubts that the investor community had. We can close this call now. Thanks for the participation. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Antique Stock Broking Limited, that concludes this conference call. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines.